Geminis, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for March 14th through the 20th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link because the signs are different. All right, Gemini, this week we're coming off of that last week's solar eclipse, and it is about integrating that energy. We are going to be in the first quarter phase with the moon squaring up to the sun in this position this week, which is about taking essentially these new beginnings, which was the solar eclipse, these new beginnings of spiritual freedom, of where we can really create change in our life so that we can have that spiritual freedom, and now implementing it, now actually embodying it and putting it into action this week. So that has all been involving both your 9th and your 10th house, which is where that eclipse took place, right in between these two houses. And so these new beginnings is about change for you on one hand in terms of your perspective on life, which is that 9th house. Where can you change things so you can have a healthy sense of optimism, a healthy sense of what's possible. You can change your life so you have more of that adventurous spirit, and that might be adventurous through philosophy, spirituality, through travel, whatever it might be for you individually. And then also change so that you can have a more balanced, healthy perspective on your career or your legacy or the productive pursuits of life, right? Where you can make change there. And this is usually with the South Node, with the solar eclipse, the past unconscious belief systems. That might be the over unhealthy extremes of either or both of these areas, right? So where there can be change so you can have a healthy sense of adventure and a healthy sense of purpose and of career productivity. So that's going to be the ongoing energy with the eclipses. Now your sun is in the top of the chart, so you guys do have the energy and the prana to really get involved with the productive or disciplined things, career things, whatever it might be. It's a source of energy for you this week. Now this week does start off some new types of energy. We do have Venus squaring up to Mars entering the week. So here the balancing and integration of the yin and yang principle, essentially. And in terms of your masculine principle, this is Mars who's recently gone into your 6th house. So you guys are probably quite assertive, quite driven to maybe get your health in order, maybe get that time management, energy management in order, maybe pursue your work. And this has been an area that's been very serious in the sense that it's been important for you to ground it with Saturn here. You guys are seeing the long-term patient approach to your daily routine. But the energy here is quite strong with Mars in Scorpio. He's in dignity. Just recently went in here last week. So now it's balancing that, integrating that with these enjoyments that I think you can have right now to tap into that adventurous spirit. All right, this is the yin yang. So the key with this is where can you take action so that you can, again, tap into that adventurous spirit, expand your mind, expand your horizons, but do it in a tactful way. Do it in a slow and steady, constructive way, which is that square. Now, also with this is going to be an important week for you Geminis because your ruler Mercury is actually forming quite a few transits this week, and it's all starting here on Monday with Mercury opposing up to Jupiter, squaring up to Saturn, and sextiling up to Pluto, all in the same time period, Monday and Tuesday. So the key with this configuration is basically what we've got is we've got your ruler opposing up to Jupiter, which is suggesting that there is this you are seeing what's possible, I think, this week, but you want to stay nice and grounded with it. Jupiter in your 3rd house is saying, look, with all this stuff involving your immediate environment, involving maybe community, the social, this intellectual, mental energy that has been unfolding for you, it really is the time for you to really get into the practical, intellectual, and communicative side of life right now. There's a lot to learn about that with Jupiter. And there's a lot to integrate because without the possible, which is that 9th house, which is where Mercury is going to be, then we can't really take that practical insight anywhere. And without the practical insight, we can't take those possibilities anywhere. So it's really seeing them as one and the same, merging those two together, and that can be, in fact, very healthfully inspiring this early part of the week. Now, that opposition is going to be squared by Saturn, and Jupiter is going to start squaring up to Saturn this week, going into next week. So it's all about taking action in a slow, patient, and steady and grounded way, specifically with expanding those possibilities and with those practical things, and seeing how you can, again, bring in the two, build the two, because it's all part of this T-square. And Saturn's right at the middle of it making sure that it's all done properly. All right, and this is the aspect of yourself that is making sure that everything is long-term, mature, and grounded. Now, the sextile to Pluto is very supportive. Pluto's actually very supportive in all this transformation this month. And so this is about integrating these new insights, this new mind. Your mind is actually shifting this week. I think where you have been perhaps thinking more about those possibilities and the adventure, which you can certainly still enjoy with Venus, I think since Mercury's your ruler shifting into the 10th house this week, your mind, your perspective is going to go more towards the productive, the career, the big picture stuff, the legacy. And so with this, configuration here with this, you guys do have that shift of perspective, right? And it's probably as a result of a lot of this. So later in the week, around Thursday, you could be perhaps finding yourself wanting to get more involved with that legacy. And I think it's great, especially when it comes to seeing where you can change your career, change your legacy, change your productive perspective. And again, get rid of any deep-seated belief systems, unconscious belief systems with the South Node, because Mercury is going to go over that South Node Thursday and Chiron as well, suggesting that there might be some healing needed in order to do this, specifically with you and your identity and who you are. You guys are going through a very spiritual time this later part of the week, or at least it's good for you to do so, to go within, to explore yourself on that deeper level. And again, maybe those motives involved with these productive things. And that can be very healing, and you guys are healing your identity with that as well. Now, the week tops off on Sunday with Venus going over Neptune in that 9th house. So over the weekend, it could be quite dreamy, imaginative, involving those possibilities. Maybe the adventure. Some of you might be connecting to nature, might be doing some light traveling, might be reading philosophy, learning philosophy, spirituality, and all of that can be very tranquil and very dreamy. This is actually very sort of imaginative, almost romantic energy in that sense. And your self-expression is actually going through a sort of deeper connection this week. Venus rules your 5th house. Going over Neptune is that you guys can really access the deep faith and trust that has been unfolding for you along the life journey, to really surrender, allow the divine process to guide you where you need to be guided. So that can all be very enjoyable. It can all be very adventurous. And regardless of how you actually do it, in which area, enjoying that surrender, faith, and trust is a great way of working with this over the weekend. All right, Gemini, so have an excellent week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week.